Businesses are growing rapidly at a breakneck speed, and it is very important for each of the businesses to innovate, to accelerate, to stay ahead of the curve and be one step ahead of competition. With that being said, to scale their businesses or to address the current challenges, businesses adopt newer technologies, and with newer technologies come in a whole host of complexities that we need to address. One of the major issues that we always face is when the systems are exposed to the outside world, when people are allowed to access your mission critical applications through different devices, people accessing it from different geographies or through different internet service providers, security will have a big concern, which means security risk goes up drastically. We've all done a great job of securing our perimeter, or the network security as it is called, but we need to ask ourselves, have we done a great job in securing our internal systems from the internal stakeholders that are accessing these mission critical applications day in and day out? Gartner, in one of the report, suggests that 80% of these security breaches happen through insider threats or insider attacks. Have we done enough to secure our systems from the insider threats? With identity being defined, it is very, very important for us to define the access for each one of those identities based on their roles and responsibilities. It is important for us to have a system which would authenticate the users based on their username and password, and also authorize whether they are allowed to access specific applications that are trying to access. Once we have a holistic access management system, you're not only defining the identities but also managing their access to different systems. Once we've defined identities, it is very important for us to define the access to these identities as well. Who has access to what kind of applications based on their roles and responsibilities? With that being done, with identities being defined based on the roles and responsibilities, access being given, it's very important as a three-pronged approach to also monitor the user activity of each and every user who has privileged access to all of your databases, operating systems, or your critical applications. Once you define the identities and given the access based on their roles and responsibilities, it is very important for organizations also to monitor the user activity of the privileged users or the so-called super users who have a freeware access to pretty much all of your mission critical applications, as if there are any untoward activities that could be happening in the organization can be arrested right at the very outset. By ensuring that we have a three-pronged approach, managing the identities, defining the access, and also monitoring the user activity of the privileged users, we're completing the entire circle and ensuring that we are being ahead of the curve to ensure we are securing our systems against any untoward security breaches that could happen from our own internal stakeholders within the organization.